Hey folks, how's it going? This is Iron Seagull here, back with another speculation video. So this is once again about the roadmap that was revealed recently, because I wanted to discuss an interesting theory I've seen many of you bring up, and that's about the upcoming hot updates that was indicated on those moving boxes. Because my first thought was just, oh okay, it's probably something that somehow ties it to summer, considering the last month of this quarter is June, and that's already considered summer in the Northern Hemisphere. I've seen some guessing that maybe that means that we're going to be getting a dating app, because we still don't have online dating in The Sims 4. That's so weird, especially considering how common online dating is now. But I want to talk about a theory that takes things more literally, because you, of course, probably know of the Caliente family, probably one of the most famous pre-made households in the whole Sims franchise. And of course, they were in The Sims 4 since the base game, and we may finally be getting an overhaul on them pretty soon. We saw concept art for this quite a long time ago, actually, back when we also got our first look at the Goth Overhaul, which did actually release about a year ago. But we haven't had any more of these NPC overhauls or refreshes since then. But here's something I somehow didn't know until very recently, and it's that Caliente is hot in Spanish. So I thought people were just saying they think the Calientes are attractive, especially going back to how they looked in The Sims 2, and it's like, oh, maybe they're getting an update because of that. No, it's far more literal than that. So that would actually make a whole lot of sense. I feel this is the most likely thing to happen. I'm not expecting anything too big, especially considering we got the Infants update recently, but I think by the time June rolls around, if it actually does come out in June as well to go along with that, then okay, we could still get some kind of decent update around then, I think. I think enough time would have passed. There was also a tweet thread involving SimGuru Frost that I covered back in November that made it seem like we were going to get the Caliente overhaul soon, where Frost said, "We're getting close, no date just yet, but we've wrapped up our feedback sessions with community members." Frost did also say that these overhauls are being done bit by bit, where, for example, the nose for the new Mortimer Goth was a brand new sculpt, which takes time to make and then add to the base game for all players to use, and it's part of their efforts to expand representation in the base game. Funny to think that this Twitter thread was almost half a year ago already, 5 months, so maybe this is going to be finally the quarter that the Calientes will get their overhaul. Though it still, even for the explanation there, just seems just so odd that it's taking this long to just overhaul one household. So it seems like at this rate, we'll just get one per year, unless we do actually happen to get a lot more of them just as a surprise or something. Back when they first announced this overhaul, they said they were going to update Sims from up to Cottage Living, so it isn't going to be just the base game Sims. So I don't know. I feel like if they really were going to update that many Sims, then they would probably have to pick up the pace at some point, unless this does end up genuinely becoming another one of those projects that they just kinda let fall to the wayside. I know a lot of people weren't really a huge fan of the Goth overhaul. The thing I've seen talked about most by far is with Alexander. When he grows up into a teenager, he just looks like a completely different Sim from what he was as a child. So hopefully then, if they are taking this long, that the Caliente overhaul will be done a lot better. With the Goths, they didn't even really do all that much. Sure, they made them look different, and I'm pretty sure they added hot and cold weather wear outfits, but they didn't expand their lore at all. They didn't start any connections with any of the other Sims living in Willow Creek. They don't have any sentiments added, so there's definitely more they could have done. I'd also love to see them integrate pack features into Sims who don't have them already, like the lifestyles from Snowy Escape, or the fame and reputation systems from Get Famous. So, for example, Penny Pizzazz could be a celebrity. I'm not sure how famous I would make her exactly, but that could be interesting. And of course, most recently, there's the family dynamics and social compatibility systems from growing together that could fit pretty nicely into pre-existing Sims. Heck, what about cats and dogs? It'd be interesting to see what some of these pre-existing families would have if you happen to have that expansion pack installed. I mean, yeah, through neighborhood stories it is possible for them to adopt cats or dogs if you have that enabled, but it's not quite the same. It'd be interesting to see what some of these families would have, like if they choose to have these cats or dogs just right from the get-go. One other thing I think would be very cool, I highly doubt they'll go this far, is if they also updated some of the lots these families live in, because I think especially for people who are just starting to play The Sims 4 as of recently, would find it strange that none of the houses have some of the build features that have been added since the game first came out. Pools especially is the one that stands out to me, because we did get pools, but a couple of months after the game first came out, so it's like, oh, well, I missed the window for that. Even for the roomie's house right here, it feels like that space was initially made to be a pool, but since pools weren't ready for release when the base game came out, they were just like, okay, we gotta fit something else in there instead. Planters, okay. But you don't need that much space for just a few planters. But yeah, overall, I do feel like this is a pretty strong theory and feels pretty on the nose for, I guess you could say, that Max's type of humor, that this is how they would hint at the Calientes finally being overhauled if they were to hint at specifically that. I am still feeling like this will probably happen in June, but I guess if it were to be literally the Calientes, then it could still happen earlier than that. But I think, like with the previous quarter where growing together was the thing to look forward to, and then the kits were just little appetizers, then I think this hot update is going to be, again, like the big thing at the end of the quarter, rather than them just putting that out very soon. But feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. When do you think this Caliente Overhaul is going to happen? And do you think that is indeed the hot update? And be sure to subscribe if you'd like to keep up with my latest gaming content. I will talk to you all later, and have a great day. Thanks for watching!